राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक नमस्काराः। शिवानन्दलहर्याः कक्ष्यायां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। Welcome to session 15 of Learn to Chant Shivananda Lahari. So we have completed learning 22 verses in the previous class, and we will be learning, hopefully we will learn till 25 in today's class. So welcome to our panelist for today, Shriya, who will be helping us with the Anucharanam. As usual, let us begin with Guru Vandanam. गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे, गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे। न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः, मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं, नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सौन्दर्यलहरी कर्त्रे सर्वमङ्गलदायिने, शङ्कराचार्यवर्याय यतिराजाय ते नमः। शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमबुद्ध्यया, किङ्करीयस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये। प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः, नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यं तन्नृसिंहगुरुं भजे। श्री सच्चिदानन्द शिवाभिनव्य नृसिंह भारत्यभिधान्यतीन्द्रान्, विद्यानिधीन् मन्त्रनिधीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे। मानवशम्भुरूपान् सदात्मध्याननिरतं, विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखम् नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखर भारतीम्। विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्यौदार्यक्षमानिधिं, सदाभिनवपूर्वन्तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे। भारती करुणापात्रं भारती पदभूषणं, भारती पदमारूढं भारती तीर्थमाश्रये। भारती तीर्थवर्यन्तं भक्तहृत्तापनाशनं, भवभीतिहरं देवं भावये सततं हृदि। विद्याविनयसम्पन्नौ वीतरागौ विवेकिनं, वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञौ विधुशेखर भारतीम्। अनन्तगुणसम्पन्नामनन्ताभिधयाश्रुताम्, अनन्तज्ञानदात्रीं तां मातरं प्रणुमो वयम्। गैर्वाण्या संविबोधेन जीवनं मौल्यसंयुतं, या करोत्तान्नमाम्यम्बां शारदामूर्तरूपिणीम्। कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृतशशिकलाभ्यां निजतपः फलाभ्यां, भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे। शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवन शिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्यामानन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यान्नतिर्यम्. Yeah, as it has been 2 weeks since we met last class. Last week we didn't have a class. So I will quickly revise 21, 22, and then we will start learning 23. धृतिस्तम्भाधारां दृढगुणनिबद्धां सगमनां विचित्रां पद्माढ्यां प्रतिदिवससन्मार्गघटितां स्मरारे मच्चेतस्फुटपटकुटीं प्राप्य विशदां जयस्वामिन् शक्त्या सह शिवगणैः सेवित विभो. प्रलोभाद्यैरर्थाहरणपरतन्त्रोधनिगृहे प्रवेशोद्युक्तः सन् भ्रमति बहुधा तस्करपते. इमं चेतश्चोरं कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो तवाधीनं कृत्वा मयि निरपराधे कुरु कृपाम्. So in the last 2 verses, we have seen that in 21, Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya compares the mind to a tent. Sagamanam, which can be carried from one place to the other, which is clean, which is like a clean cloth. So which means we have to wash away all the impurities and maintain the purity of the mind, Chitta Shuddhi. And then he invited Ishvara and Parvati to dwell there in that mind tent. And in the 22nd verse, he compares the mind to a thief, and he very aptly addresses Lord Shiva as Taskarapate, the chief of thieves, and he pleads with him to show compassion and to control that mind, which is a thief and which is always thinking about acquiring more and more wealth, aspiring for the wealth of others, and which is attracted towards allurements, possessions, etc. So there we had stopped. Now we will start learning the 23rd verse. Shriya. Karomi tvat pujam.
Karomi tvat pujam. Karomi tvat pujam.
Sapadi sukhado me bhava vibho.
Sapadi sukhado me bhava vibho. Sapadi sukhado me bhava vibho.
Vidhitvam vishnutvam.
Vidhitvam vishnutvam. Vidhitvam vishnutvam.
Dishasi khalu tasya phalamiti.
दिशसि खलु तस्याः फलमिति. दिशसि खलु तस्याः फलमिति.
पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुम्.
पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुम्. पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुम्.
There can we combine the Parasavarna Shriya? Punascha tvam drashtum.
पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुम्. पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुम्.
Divi bhuvi vahan pakshi mrigatam.
दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षि मृगताम्. दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षि मृगताम्.
Adrishtva tatkhedam.
अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम् अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम्
कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो
कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो
करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो
करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो
विधित्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्याः फलमिति
विधुत्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्याः फलमिति विधित्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्याः फलमिति
पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम्
पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम् पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम्
अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदं कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो
अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदं कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदं कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो
करोमि त्वत्पूजां. There is a dvitvam here. The t is doubling. Karomi त्वत्पूजां sapadi sukhado kha mahaprana me bhava vibho vidhitvam. Again there is a dvitvam. Vishnutvam, again dvitvam there. Dishasi khalu tasya phalamiti. So here there is a upadmaniya. So I hope you all remember. We also had the class on pronunciation. Those who could not attend, you can always go back to the recording and please do view that class to note the rules of pronunciation. Visarga followed by pa or pa, we pronounce it as jihva muliya. Upupadmaniyanam oshtau. So u, pa, pa and upadmaniya have to be pronounced with the lips. So the upadmaniya should not sound like a jihva muliya. We shouldn't pronounce it as tasyah phalamiti. No, if you say tasyah phalamiti, it is sounding like a jihva muliya. It should be pronounced as tasyah phalamiti. The lips should come close, like it comes for pa and u. And there should be expulsion of air. Tasyah phalamiti. Exactly, that's the way it has to be pronounced. Please note, it shouldn't sound like a jihva muliya. Punascha tvam drashtum. Punascha tvam. Dvitvam there. Tvam drashtum. We combine the sandhi. Divi bhuvi vahan pakshi mrigatam. Pakshi. There also there is a dvitvam. Pakshi mrigatam. Adrishtva tat khedam. Khe mahaprana. Kathamiha tha mahaprana. Sahe shankara vibho. Bho is mahaprana. We will do half a verse at a time now. Karomi tvat pujam sapadi sukhado me bhava vibho vidhitvam vishnutvam dishasi khalu tasya phalamiti.
करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो विधित्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्या फलमिति करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो विधित्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्या फलमिति
पुनश्च त्वां दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम् अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम् कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो।
पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम् अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम् कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो। पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम् अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम् कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो।
Tamam, now the entire verse. करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो। विधित्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्य फलमिति। पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम् अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम् कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो।
करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो। विधित्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्य फलमिति। पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम् अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम् कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो।
Uttamam. Once again, Shreya, this verse.
करोमि त्वत्पूजां सपदि सुखदो मे भव विभो। विधित्वं विष्णुत्वं दिशसि खलु तस्य फलमिति। पुनश्च त्वां द्रष्टुं दिवि भुवि वहन् पक्षिमृगताम् अदृष्ट्वा तत्खेदम् कथमिह सहे शङ्कर विभो।
Uttamam. So let us see the meaning now. He Vibho, he Shankara, Tvat Pujam Karomi. Me Sapadi Sukhado Bhava. So in this verse, Shankaracharya is telling Ishvara, He Vibho, that is, O all-pervading one, O Master. He Shankara, the one who always bestows Shubham, or the one who always bestows happiness, auspiciousness, and what is Shreyaskara to everyone. Shubham Karoti ti Shankaraha. He Shankara, Tvat Pujam Karomi. I will worship you. Me Sapadi Sukhado Bhava. So you, without delay, immediately, Sapadi means Jhatiti, without delay, immediately, Sukhadaha, Me Sukhadaha. Me means for me. Sukhadaha, the giver of happiness, the bestower of bliss. Bhava, please become the bestower of bliss to me immediately. Do not delay. Okay. So then next line, Vidhitvam Vishnutvam Tasyaha Phalamiti Dishasi Khalu. Punascha Tvam Drashtum Divi Bhuvi Pakshi Mragatam Vahan Adrishtva Tat Khedam Kathamiha Sahe. Okay. So, to understand this, we should understand the context of some of our, even in Bhagavad Gita, we see this, the same, very similar shlokas. I will come to that. So when we do a puja, so first line, what did he say? He said, O Shankara, I will worship you. Immediately you become the bestower of bliss for me. Next line, he's saying, Tasyaha phalamiti. So as a fruit of that worship, of worshipping you, Vidhitvam Vishnutvam Dishasi Khalu, you bestow the position of Brahma, the position of Vishnu. Isn't that so? So those who already know about this in Vedanta, etc., this will not be new to you. But for those who are listening to this for the first time, So in our Sanatana Dharma, and you come across references to this in the Bhagavad Gita also, the entire creation is considered to be in the form of a Brahmanda, that is in the form of an egg. And you have the Bhuloka, where we all are, the Manushya Loka in the middle. Above Manushya Loka, you have the Urdhva Lokas, the higher Lokas, which are believed to be a source of happiness. Meaning in those lokas, there is only happiness. And one such loka is, sorry, Brahma Loka, Satya Loka, where Brahma is the Adhipati, then Vishnu Loka, etc. So all these are the lokas, the worlds above the earth. And on this earth, we as humans, we have both Sukha and Dukkha. We have both sorrow and happiness. But in the Urdhva Lokas, above, there is only happiness. And below the earth, you have Atala, Vitala, Rasatala, Talatala, Patala. Again, there are many lokas, which are the lokas below the earth, the worlds below the earth, which are full of sorrow. So even in yajnas, etc., it is Swarga Kamo Yajeta. So when a person performs yajna, you will get Urdhva Lokas, or that people believe in that and perform these yajnas, etc. So as a result of performing pujas or yajnas, one fruit which is bestowed is, the result is Urdhva Lokas, where you only have happiness. But are those permanent? No, they are not permanent. This is very clearly described in Bhagavad Gita by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And I feel to understand this verse clearly, we should refer to those verses also. I will just refer to them. So, these lokas, as a result of puja, punya, merit, yajnas or puja, here he's saying, as a result of worshipping you, Shiva, you might bestow upon me the Urdhva Lokas, like Vidhitvam, Vishnutvam, that Brahma Loka, Vishnu Loka, etc. And in that, even becoming a Brahma or Vishnu in those lokas. So that is what is referred to here. But that is not permanent. So as is said by Bhagavan very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma Bhuvanal Lokaha Punaravartin Arjuna. Brahma Bhuvanal Lokaha, from the Brahma Loka, all the lokas are Punaravartinaha. They keep coming and they face creation dissolution. They keep getting dissolved. I mean, when there is dissolution. And Punaravartinaha, they again come and they get dissolved. They are created and they get dissolved. Mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Mam upetya. Here Krishna is saying Mam upetya. When you reach Bhagavan, that is ultimate Parabrahma, Mukti, when you get that state, you are one with Parabrahman. There he says Mam. Krishna is referring to himself. Here the same Tattva, Parabrahma Tattva, Shankaracharya is referring to as Parameshwara, as Ishvara. Mam upetya kaunteya Punarjanma navidyate. Kaunteya means, O son of Kunti, you do not get Punarjanma. That is, you are not born again. Once you attain me, once you attain Paramatma, once you get that Atma Jnana and Mukti, once you are liberated, then you don't get Punarjanma. But if you aspire through pujas or through karma to get these Urdhva Lokas, they are temporary. So you might get a Vishnu Padavi for some time, but it is temporary. Even your Brahma Padavi is temporary. But then also, if you go to those lokas, as long as your punya lasts, you are there. Once your punya decreases and once your punya is exhausted completely, you are pushed down back to the Manushya Loka. Okay, so that keeps happening, that cycle. So the aim is to go beyond the cycle of birth and death and to attain mukti. So again in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Avyaktokshara ityuktaha tamahu paramam gatim yam prapya nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. So whatever yam prapya paramam gatim, the ultimate state, is what once you attain that state, then there is no coming back from that state. Yam prapya na nivartante, from which state there is no return. That is the ultimate state of liberation. Tadhama paramam mama, that is my ultimate abode. So Arjuna, you aim for that, not for temporary padavis, temporary lokas, where, it is, that also is transient. And then in the 9th chapter also very, very beautifully Krishna says, Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti. Evam trayi dharma manuprapanna gatagatam kama kama labhante. Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. So after they enjoy that Swargaloka, which is very Vishalam, which is vast, Kshine Punye, once the merit is exhausted, once the Punyam is exhausted, Martyalokam Vishanti, they come back to the Martyaloka, that is this Bhuloka. So this is the cycle. So these lokas, Urdhva lokas are also not permanent. Therefore, here Shankaracharya is saying, here he's telling, oh Shiva, I will worship you. Immediately bestow that ultimate bliss to me, which is Shivanandam, Brahmanandam, attaining which you are in union with Shiva. You understand that Advaita Bhava. And once you attain that state and you attain Mukti, there is no coming back. So he's saying, oh Shiva, please, you might bestow, when I worship you, you might bestow Vidhitvam, Vishnutvam. He's referring to those positions of in those lokas. So in Brahma Loka, the position of Brahma, and in Vishnu Loka, position of Vishnu. So you might bestow that Vidhitvam, Vishnutvam on me. However, Punaschatvam drashtum, again to see you, Divi Bhuvi Pakshi Mrigatam Vahan. So same thing, if that for me, when I read this verse, I was reminded of all those verses exactly, very clearly, as Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. Even though you, O Shiva, you might bestow Vidhitvam, Vishnutvam on me, those lokas, Punascha, again to see you, because that is not the ultimate, that is not the attainment of the ultimate liberation. Avyaktokshara ityuktaha tamahuhu paramam gatim. So that paramagati is what we need to aspire for. Yam prapya nanivartante. From that state from which there is no return to this cycle of birth and death. Tadhama paramam mama. However, Shiva, if you bestow me only that, those padavis, that positions, then what happens? Again to see you, I should come down as what? Divi Bhuvi. Divi means in the sky. Bhuvi means on the earth. Pakshi Mrigatam, in the form of a bird or an animal. So again, I have to take the forms to see you. Adrishtva, but having not seen you, tat khedam, that sorrow of having not seen you, he Shankara, he Vibho, kathamaham sahe, how do I endure, or how can I withstand that sorrow of not seeing you? So very clearly here, Shankar Bhagavad Pada Acharya is telling Ishvara that I do not aspire for those Urdhva Lokas or those temporary positions in heaven or whatever we may call them, or those temporary positions in any of these places which only have happiness as long as you stay there. But again, if I have not attained you, Shiva, again I have to come back. I have to come back and I have to take this form of a Pakshi or a Mriga to see you. So I cannot bear this sorrow of not seeing you. Therefore, you bestow upon me that Parama Padam, that Parama Padavi, that Param Gatim, as is referred to in Bhagavad Gita. You please bestow that upon me, that ultimate bliss upon me, that ultimate liberation upon me, from which there is point of no return. So this is referring to attaining Paramatma, in whichever form we may refer to him. Here, of course, he is referred to as Paramashiva only. So I hope this verse is clear. We will just go through the meaning once and then we will read the entire verse. O Parameshwara, I offer worship to you without delay. For you, the giver of eternal bliss, will grant me the positions of Brahma or Vishnu as a result of my devotion. But then, taking on the forms of a bird or a Mriga means an animal, roaming through heaven and earth to behold you, if I am still unable to see you, how will I endure that sorrow in this world? O Shankara, source of all happiness, How can I bear such a separation? O all-pervading Bhagavan. Okay. Shlokas which I referred to, some of you have asked me. So those shlokas are mostly from 8th and 9th chapter. 8th chapter is Abrahma Bhuvana Lokaha. Then Avyaktokshara Ityuktaha also must be 8th, and Tetam Bhuktva Swargalokam is 9th chapter of Gita. You can go through these. We don't have much time to dwell into this, but if you read the commentary on any of those verses, because some of you have asked about Urdhva Lokas and all, you will get to know those. So those are just temporary positions. They are not attaining Bhagavan himself. So once you, like I said, so we in this Martya Loka, we acquire Punya and Papa, merit and demerit. So as a result of Punya, then we will experience those Urdhva Lokas, which are where there is only happiness. But once your Punya is over, Kshine Punya Martya Lokam Vishanti, you are pushed back to this earth to attain, again to do your karma and to get your Punya, Papa, etc. This process, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, goes on till you attain Mukti. And that Mukti you attain by realize or experiencing Shivanandam, Brahmanandam, attaining Atmajnana. Mam upetya kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Avyaktokshara ityuktaha tamahuhu paramam gatim. Yam prapya nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. So that is, you can understand more about this way, maybe when you read the commentary on those verses. So it's very similar to what is stated in this verse when Shankaracharya says, I don't want the positions in those lokas. I only want you. I want to attain you, O Paramashiva, O Paramatma. We will quickly chant this verse and go to the next verse. Karomi tvat pujam sapadi sukhado me bhava vibho vidhitvam vishnutvam deshasi khalu tasya phalamiti punascha drashtum divi bhuvi vahan pakshi mrigatam adrishtva tatkhedam Kathamiha sahe Shankara Vibho. Mala Bhagini, very quickly in response to your question, can't Shiva be seen in Urdhva Lokam? Ultimately, once we attain that state of Shivanandam, Shiva is seen within us, wherever you are. So like Shankaracharya says in Nirvana Shatkam, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. That is the ultimate, and that is what is Shivananda Lahari. These shlokas are helping us to achieve that state where you realize I am that Chidananda Rupa. That Chidananda, Chidanandam, Shivanandam, Sachidanandam, Brahmanandam, Paramanandam, all are the same. That Chidananda Rupa is me. Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. To attain that state is what these shlokas are helping us to attain. That is the state which that Shivanandam, to attain that Shivoham, to realize that state, to be in that state is what Shankaracharya is praying for, not for any Urdhva Lokas or anything like that. I hope that is clear. Next verse 24, Shriya. Kada va kailase
Kada va kailase Kada va kailase
Kanakamani saudhe sahaganaihi
Kanakamani saudhe sahagunaihi Kanakamani saudhe sahaganaihi
Vasan Shambhoragre
Vasan Shambhoragre Vasan Shambhoragre
Sputaghatita-murdhanjali-putaha
स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः
Once again.
स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः
Uttamam. Vibho Samba Swamin
विभो साम्भस्वामिन् विभो साम्भस्वामिन्
Samba alpa prana. Sa amba. Okay. Samba. Bibho samba swamin.
विभो साम्बस्वामिन् विभो साम्बस्वामिन्
Parama Shiva pahiti nigadan.
परमशिव पाहीति निगदन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन्
Bidhatrinam kalpan.
विधातॄणां कल्पान् विधातॄणां कल्पान्
क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः
क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः
कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे महाप्राण सह गणैः वसन् शम्भोरग्रे भो is महाप्राण अग्रे द्वित्वं there स्फुट घटित मूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः स्फुघ ध महाप्राणas there विभो साम्बस्वामिन् there s is doubling साम्बस्वामिन्. So when you chant, so there is, if you have listened to the video by Dr. Soumya Krishnapur Bhagini, she clearly states that she gives the example of Varnin in Suprabhatam. Venkateshwara Suprabhatam. That's the course in which she took that class. I've shared the link with you on the WhatsApp group. So Dvitvam is possible at the end of a word also while stopping when there is a halanta. So it is correct to say Swamin or Swamin. Both are correct. But therefore that slight n is heard because of the Dvitvam effect there. But you should not say it so much that it becomes u. It shouldn't be heard as Swamin. That u shouldn't be heard. Sometimes due to some regional influences that happens, that is incorrect. But Dvitvam is possible at the end of a word also. Swamin. There two n are heard. Paramashiva pahiti nigadan vidhatrinam kalpan vidhatrinam. Note this, it is r, the dirgha. It's not as commonly used, but pitrinam, matrinam, there vidhatrinam, dha is mahaprana. Here combine the sandhi, vidhatrinam kalpan kshanamiva vineshyami sukhatah. Kha is mahaprana. Kada va kailase kanakamani saudhe sahaganaihi.
कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे सह गणैः कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे सह गणैः
वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः
वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः
विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन्
विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन् विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन्
विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः
विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः.
One more thing to note here, vidhatrınam, this tr is not a samyuktaksharam, it is just a gunitaksharam. T plus r gives us tr. So while pronouncing this word, we must pronounce it as vidhatrınam. like matrinam. We should not say vidhatri. There is no dvitvam there. Extra t is not there. That dvitvam we should not give. Sometimes, like, sometimes amritam, some tend to pronounce it as amrutam. That is not right. It is not amritam. There is no dvitvam there. It is amritam. Similarly, vidhatrinam. No extra t should be heard. Now we will do 2 lines at a time. कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे सह गणैः वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः
कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे सह गणैः वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे सह गणैः वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः
विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन् विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः
विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन् विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन् विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः
कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे सह गणैः वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन् विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः
कदा वा कैलासे कनकमणिसौधे सह गणैः वसन् शम्भोरग्रे स्फुटघटितमूर्धाञ्जलिपुटः विभो साम्ब स्वामिन् परमशिव पाहीति निगदन् विधातॄणां कल्पान् क्षणमिव विनेष्यामि सुखतः
Uttamam. So, in this verse and in the next verse, our Acharya Shankara is giving us a beautiful visual description of Parameshwara in Kailasa. So, like I was telling you, this is a very great Bhakti Shastram, a spiritual work for Chitta Shuddhi. It is also a very great work with a lot of literary beauty in it. So, in this one and in the next, so the way he has described Parameshwara in Kailasa is such that when you understand, you can visualize that beautiful form and even the surroundings of Parameshwara. And like we learned previously, this Darshana Lalasa, this extreme desire to have the vision of Bhagavan is one of the traits of a Parama Bhakta. It's one of the traits of a devotee. So in this and in the next verse, he's saying, when will I see you, O Shiva? When will I behold that beautiful form of yours in Kailasa? Kada va. Kada means when. In Sanskritam, we have Sapta Kakaraha, 7 words starting with the letter Ka, which are question words. Like in English, we have what, where, when, why, which, who, etc. Like that, Katham, Kati, Kada, Kimartham, Kim, all these, etc. So these are called Sapta Kakaraha. Kada is one of them. Kada means when. So, Kailase Kanaka Mani Saudhe Sahaganaihi Shambhoragre Sputaghatita-Murdhanjali-Putaha Vasann Vibho Samba Swamin Paramashiva Pahi Pahi Iti Nigadan Vidhatrinam Kalpan Kshanamiva Sukhataha Vineshyami. So when will I see, behold that form of yours, O Parameshwara? And how is that form? Kadava Kailase, in Kailasa. We know Kailasa, the mountain where Ishvara resides. Kanaka Mani Saudhe. How is that Kailasa? In that there is a mansion built with gold and precious stones. Kanaka, gold, Mani, precious stones. Ganaihi Saha. So Shiva is with the Pramatha Ganas there. So when I read this word, Kanakamani Saudhe, I was reminded of when I visited the Himalayas. So those of you who have visited the Himalayas, when you see those snow-capped mountains and when there is the sunlight shining on the peaks, and when you see from a distance, you have this beautiful vision of that sight of the peak which appears golden. So you might have seen even in pictures, or if you have seen in person, you will be able to relate to it. So when you have snow-capped mountains and there is the sunlight shining on the peak of the mountain, when you look at it from a distance, that peak appears golden. So I was thinking maybe that also was one of the things Acharya Shankara was referring to when he said Kanaka Mani Saudhe, because it appears like a golden peak, when the sunlight falls on it. The literal meaning is, of course, a mansion built with gold and precious stones. But when you visualize the Himalayas, you think of this also. In such Kailasa, Ganaihi Saha Vasann. So living along with the Pramatha Ganas. Shambhoho Agre, where? Right in front of Parameshwara. So Shankaracharya is imagining himself, the Bhakta, to be standing right in front of Parameshwara in Kailasa, surrounded by Pramatha Ganas. Sputa Ghatita Murdhanjali Putaha. Anjali means this folding hands together is called Anjali in Sanskritam. Murdhanjali Putaha means Murdha means head. So with your hands raised and kept on your head. So that is how in extreme devotion we show our reverence to Bhagavan with raised hands, with Anjali kept on top of our head. Sputa Ghatita Murdha Anjali Putaha. So standing in front of Parameshwara with both hands raised in Anjali, in this Namaskara Mudra above his head. Vibho, Samba, Swamin, Paramashiva. So in that ecstasy, he's ecstatically visualizing that form of Parameshwara in Kailasa. He's standing right before Parameshwara and he is saying, Vibho, oh all-pervading one. Samba, Ambaya Saha. So along with Parvati, he is there. Vibho, Samba, Shiva along with Parvati. Swamin, oh Master. Paramashiva, oh ultimate auspiciousness, ultimate Shiva. Pahi, protect me. Nigadan, saying that Vidhatrinam Kalpan Kshanamiva Sukhataha Vineshyami. Vidhatri here refers to Vidhata is Brahma. Chaturmukha Brahma, that is four-faced Brahma, who is the creator. Now, Kalpan means it is one time period of measurement for Brahma. All of you read up what is a Kalpa, how many yugas form a Kalpa. I will briefly tell you. So here, 1 day of Brahma is equal to 1 Kalpa. And 1 night also is equal to 1 Kalpa. Now, what is that time measurement? 1 Kalpa is when 4 yugas, so we have 4 yugas, right? This is Kali Yuga. So if you know, when we are doing pujas and all, in the beginning we have Sankalpa. So then they say Kali Yuge, Shvetavaraha Kalpe, Vaivasvata Manvantare, Kali Yuge, Jambudvipe, Prathame Pade, Bharatavarshe, Bharate Khande. So there Kali Yuge you hear. Also Vaivasvata Manvantare. So that Manvantara also is a measurement of time. We have gone much beyond what, not just years and centuries. So here, like I said, 1 Kalpa is 1 night or 1 day for Brahma. That 1 Kalpa is equal to 4 yugas repeated 1,000 times. So now we are in Kali Yuga. This is supposed to be the shortest yuga. And bigger than this was Dwapara, the previous yuga, where we had Krishna Avatara. Before that was Treta Yuga. That is bigger than, the time period is bigger than Dwapara Yuga. Treta Yuga was Rama Avatara. Then before that was Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga. So 4 yugas: Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. We are in Kali Yuga, the last yuga, the shortest of the yugas. So when all these 4 yugas are repeated 1,000 times, just imagine that vast expanse of time. That is one kalpa for Brahma. So Shankaracharya is saying, when I am before you, O Parameshwara, now Bhagavan is beyond all this time, space, etc. Then kalpana, many kalpas of Brahma, kshanamiva vineshyami sukhatah. They will happily pass just like a moment when I am before you, O Parameshwara. That is what our Shankaracharya is saying here. So one, you should appreciate that visual beauty of this verse. Then regarding kalpa, you please do your research and read up. I just told you very much in brief what one kalpa is. Then also we are in this, now this particular kalpa is called Shvetavaraha Kalpa. In pujas you would have heard Shvetavaraha Kalpe. So that is the 28th Shvetavaraha Kalpa. Each kalpa has a name. Then there is a Manvantara, and this Manvantara is Vaivasvata Manvantara. So read up on that, on these, the way time has been divided. Okay, so this was beautiful description, and Shankaracharya is saying, "Oh Parameshwara, when will I behold that beautiful form in Kailasa? And when I behold that form of yours, when will I have my hands raised in Namaskara above my head and keep saying your names, Vibho, Samba, Swamin, Paramashiva, Pahi." So continuously saying this before you in Kailasa, many kalpas of Brahma will just pass like a moment. So that is the meaning. So let us chant this verse, then we'll go to the next one. Kada va kailase kanakamani saudhe sahaganaihi vasan shambhoragre sphuta ghatita murdhanjali putah Vibho Samba Swamin Paramashiva Pahiti Nigadan Vidhatranam Kalpan Kshanamiva Vineshyami Sukhatah Stavair Brahmadina
स्तवैर्ब्रह्मादीनां
Jaya Jaya Vachobhirniyaminam
जय जय वचोभिर्नियमिनां जय 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 वचोभिर्नियमिनां
Gananam Kelibhihi
गणानां केलिभिः गणानां केलिभिः
Madakalahamokshasya Kakudi.
मदकमलहोक्षस्य ककुदि
Not Kamal.
मदकलम
Madakalama. Not Kamala. Madakalamahokshasya Kakudi.
मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदि
Sthitanilagrivam.
स्थितन्नीलग्रीवम् स्थितन्नीलग्रीवम्
Trinayanamumashlishtawapusham.
त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम् त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम्
Kada tvam pashyeyam.
कदा त्वां पश्येयम् कदा त्वां पश्येयम्
Karadhritamrigam khandaparashum.
करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम्
Tavair Brahmadinam Jaya Jaya Vachobhirniyaminam. Bhi is Mahaprana. Gananang kelibhihi. Please note the sandhi here. Gananang kelibhihi. Bhi is Mahaprana. Madakala mahokshasya kakudi. Here we should not prolong it as kakudi. Kakudi. Hrasvaswara. Sthitan nila grivam. Sthi is Mahaprana. Here Anuswara combined with Na. Sthitan nila grivam. Note the dvitam here. Nila grivam. Trinayana Mumashlishtha Vapusham. Trinayanam Umashlishtha Vapusham. So pronounce each letter clearly. Trinayana Mumashlishtha Vapusham. Kada Tvam Pashyeyam. Karadhrita Mrigam. Here Dhr is Mahaprana. And combine the sandhi here, Mrigam and Khanda. Parasavarna. Karadhrita Mrigam Khanda Para. Kha is Mahaprana. So let us do one line at a time. Stavairbrahmadinam jaya jaya vachobhirniyaminam.
स्तवैर्ब्रह्मादीनां जय जय वचोभिर्नियमिनां स्तवैर्ब्रह्मादीनां जय जय वचोभिर्नियमिनां
गणानां केलिभिः मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदि
गणानां केलिभिः मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदि गणानां केलिभिः मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदि
स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम्
स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम् स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम्
कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम्
कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुं कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम्
There we should combine Parasavarna, Karadhritamrigam, Khanda Parashum. Now we will do two lines at a time. Stavairbrahmadinam jaya jaya vachobhirniyaminam gananam kelibhihi madakalamahokshasya kakudi sthitan. Yeah, two lines.
स्तवैर्ब्रह्मादीनां जय जय वचोभिर्नियमिनां गणानां केलिभिः मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदि स्तवैर्ब्रह्मादीनां जय जय वचोभिर्नियमिनां गणानां केलिभिः मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदि
स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम् कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम्
स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं
त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम्
त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषं कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम् स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं
त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषम्. Continue with me. कदा त्वां
कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम्.
Now we'll do the entire verse. स्तवैर्ब्रह्मादीनां जय जय वचोभिर्नियमिनां गणानां केलिभिः मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदी स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषं कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम्.
तवैर्ब्रह्मादीनां जय जय वचोभिर्नियमिनां गणानां केलिभिः मदकलमहोक्षस्य ककुदी स्थितन्नीलग्रीवं त्रिनयनमुमाश्लिष्टवपुषं कदा त्वां पश्येयं करधृतमृगं खण्डपरशुम्.
Uttamam. So even in this verse, Shankara Bhagavad Padacharya is asking again, when will I behold you, that vision of you, O Parameshwara? So again, another beautiful description, visual description of Parameshwara here. How is Parameshwara described here? Brahmadinam stavaihi Jaya Jaya Vachobhihi Niyaminam Jaya Jaya Vachobhihi. So here, Parameshwara and Parvati are sitting on a hump of a bull, which is very ecstatic. That is what he says, Mada Kala Mahokshasya Kakudi. So on the hump of the bull, Vrishabharudha. So, you know, Bhagavan and Parvati sit on the Vrishabham. So on the hump of Nandi, on the hump of the bull, both of them are sitting. And when they are seated, how is the bull? Very ecstatic. It is having Parameshwara and Parvati himself, the parents of the Jagat themselves on him, right? The bull. So the bull is very ecstatic. So that is the description. So, and also how is Parameshwara? He is being praised. So praises are being sung by Brahma and others. Brahmadinam stavaihi. Niyaminam Jaya Jaya Vachobhihi. So the yogis there are doing Jayakara to Ishvara. Jaya, Jaya, they are chanting. And you have you have others like Brahma who are singing his praises. Gananam Kelibhihi. So then Ganas, the Pramatha Ganas, how are they? They are playing musical instruments. So there's so much of Vaibhavam there. Then how is Shiva? Umashlishtha Vapusham, Trinayanam, the three-eyed one. Umashlishtha Vapusham, embracing Parvati. And where are they seated? Madakala Mahokshasya Kakudi. They are on that bull, seated on the hump of the bull, which is so ecstatic. Nilagrivam, the one with the blue throat. Karadhrita Mrigam, the one who is holding a deer in his hand. Khanda Parashum, in the other hand, he is holding an axe. Tvam kada pashyayam, O Shiva, when will I see you? When will I behold this sight of yours? So again, a beautiful description. You should understand each word, visualize this and chant. Then you will experience the bliss of this verse. So kada, he's saying when, even in the previous verse. In Saundarya Lahari also, there is one verse where similarly he says, kada kale mataha. So you look up that verse. Kathaya Kalita Laktaka Rasam. So I don't know the exact number of that verse, but those who have learned Saundarya Lahari will know. There also he's saying, oh Parvati, Devi, Jagat Janani, when will I get your grace? So similarly here, Kada, when will I behold that form? So let us chant this verse once. Stavair-brahmadinam Jaya Jaya Vachobhir-niyaminam Gananam Kelibhihi Madakalamahokshasya Kakudi Sthitan-nilagrivam Trinayanamumashlishtavapusham Kada tvam pashyeyam Karadhrita Mrigang Khanda Parashum. Beautiful verses. Please visualize the form of Ishvara as described while chanting these verses. Okay, so now let us conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक धन्यवादाः। धन्यवादाः to our panelist Shriya for assisting us with Anucharanam today. So we will meet next class. Please practice these verses and also by understanding the meaning. Dhanyavadaha. Punar Vilamah.